Handicapper Steve here, handicapping the racing from Santa Anita Park here on Thursday. It is the 4th of April 2024. I'm going to look at the stakes races on the program from the Great Race Place, but before I get on to that, remember to please follow me on Twitter at HorseRacingGet5 for more selections for race courses around the world, and I mean it around the world. Remember to join me this weekend for my Keeneland opening day preview, and also this Saturday for my Bluegrass preview, the Wood Memorial, which looks like it's going to be a good race for that preview, and also Santa Anita Derby. So just a good weekend of racing, so stick around for those previews. But let's look at the stakes action here on this Thursday, special Thursday program from Santa Anita. We're going to look at races 7 and 9. The 7th race, it's the Willshire Stakes. It's a grade 3 event going for a $100,000 purse race for fillies and mares, 4-year-olds and upwards. We have a field of 10 horses going 1,600 meters. Or a mile here in the Willshire. I'm going to go with the 2-horse Selenia as a top selection. I'm going to go 2-1-8-4 in the superfecta. 2-1-8-4 Super, top selection 2-horse Selenia. This 4-year-old field by See the Moon here. Jonathan Thomas trains. Umberto Rispoli gets the mount. Horse's most recent outing was a disaster at Kentucky Downs at mile 5/16 in the Dueling Grounds Oaks. She had a wide trip, and she was wide, and she just did not handle the quirkiness of Kentucky Downs. Finished 12th by 30 lengths. It wasn't her day to win. Refreshing to a leveler playing field to Southern California, very fast turf horse, which she should like. I think she could get the trip to win. She had another wide poster at Saratoga, facing very tough competition. Mile 3/16 soft ground on the Mellon in the Saratoga Oaks. Rainstorm right before the race. The ground was very heavy. She finished 8th by 22 3/4 lengths. She set some good fractions on the soft ground on the top of the stretch in the race, but at the top of the stretch she completely crumbled. She got beat by better horses on the day. Also, she was just having too soft ground there. And then the honeymoon here at Santa Anita over the mile and 8th in June. He won by 3 3/4 lengths, and from a tracking trip was a little bit wide, but really raced home clear. Even the one before that at Indiana and the Meadowlands wasn't bad at all. Refreshing here at 4-1, she could win. I think the 1-horse School Dance for Philly D'Amato and Kazushi Kimura could win also. Hasn't seen the winner's circle in a year and a half. That came at Del Mar going a mile and 8th in November 2022, where the source won by 2 3/4 lengths going away. Since then, he's been facing some tough horses. Came back to run a very good place in the American Oaks in 2022, and then last year, had a decent place in the Royal Heroine Mile nearly a year ago, and then just ran the Gamely after that. Didn't get a lot of running there. Ran the Yellow Ribbon Handicap at Del Mar, didn't get a good trip, and ran down the hill in the Willshire Well, where he just didn't break, and it was a little bit wide, but needed the race, I think, that day. Refreshing here, not the world's toughest horses, back to a mile. He could definitely win. I would use him in the pick 4 that begins with the previous race, actually. So to recap my selection for the 7 from Santa Anita now, it's the Willshire. Going to take the 2-horse Selenia. Give kudos to the 1-horse School Dance. 2-1-8-4 Super. 2-1 in the multi-race. Let's get to the 9th race, the finale on the program. It is the American Stakes. It's a grade 3 event going for a purse of $100,000, race for 4-year-olds and upwards. Field 10 horses going 1,600 meters, or again a mile on the turf course. I'm going to take the 8-horse here for Future Aventura. Hopefully I said that right. Pardon me if it's been a long day. I'm going to go 8-3-1-5 in the superfecta. 8-3-1-5 super. Top selection of the 8-horse Future Ventura, can't speak, pardon me. 5-year-old gelding by Summerfront. Jonathan Thomas trains. Kyle Frey gets the mounts. Horse in the most recent outing came actually Turf Paradise on the 14th of March. Mile 16th in the Cotton Fitzsimmons Stakes, and the horse went by a head that day, and he stepped back early. Really had a great turn of foot, and Kimura, who rode the horse that day, timed the race perfectly. He got there in the nick of time. That was a very good run. Refreshing back to Southern California, or coming to Southern California for the first time. Has been based here all winter training, but hasn't run here yet. I think he could get a trip to win cutting back. He ran in a very tough allowance race at Keeneland prior to that, going a mile 16th in mid-October, where he finished 6th by 6.5 lengths that day, and he just kind of stalked and was just a little bit flat late, maybe need the race there. And then Kentucky Downs and Ellis Park, 1 mile in the Kentucky Downs turf mile preview. He finished 2nd by a half length. He had the lead. He got caught at the stretch. He ran his heart out there going the mile trip, and then a mile in a black type 6 at Canterbury in June. He won by a nose, and again from a tracking trip, he really took off clear. Refreshing here, he could definitely win at 6-1. I think the 3-horse Gold Phoenix for Juan Hernandez and Philly D'Amato can win also. Hasn't been seen since he ran a sneaky good 4th, I thought, in the Breeders' Cup Turf at Santa Anita. He wasn't going to win that day, being August ridden in, but he closed up well there. Before then, the John Henry, he needed something more, but won the Del Mar Handicap prior to that quite nicely, and won the Eddie Reed at Del Mar over the summer quite nicely. He might want a little bit longer in the future. He has won over the mile. He did win the Kilroy Mile last season, but I think this is a good stepping stone. Training well in the Tapeta, training winning track, I'll give him a shot here on the ticket. But to recap my selection for the 9th from Santa Anita now, it's the American Stakes. Going to take the 8 horse. Give kudos to 3 horse Gold Phoenix, 8315 Super, 83 in the multi race. So let's one. Please follow me on Twitter at Horse Racing Get 5. Good luck, everybody.